Bowl, so macho, more than any other player in NFL history. You want to rumble? But despite this being his 10th trip, Brady downplayed the experience factor yesterday, saying, quote, experience doesn't matter. Playing well matters. The team that wins is not going to be the most experienced team. Ooh, Sacho. Will Tom Brady's experience be enough to beat the Chiefs?
Bruh, experience only matters if other people can benefit from your experience or if other people have the experience that you've experienced. So no, Tom Brady's experience will not benefit the Chiefs.
Got you.
It only matters if other people can benefit from your experience. Look at it, Marcellus. You got 6 players on the Buccaneers roster that have played in a Super Bowl. 4 have won a Super Bowl. You got 33 players on the Chiefs roster that have played in a Super Bowl. 31 have won a Super Bowl. For y'all counting at home, active rosters are 53 in typical seasons. So that's a lot. 3 out of 5 right there. 60% of the Chiefs roster, when they jog on that field, we've been here before. We've won here before. The Bucs, meanwhile, it's like, Tom Brady's been here. Think about it, y'all. Like, Tom Brady's experience isn't going to help Leonard Fournette catch the ball in a pivotal moment.
Nope.
Tom Brady's experience isn't going to help Chris Godwin catch the ball in traffic. Nope. It's not going to help Mike Evans go up and get that jump ball with the game on the line. Now, I'm not saying that they need help. I'm not going to absolve them of their natural abilities. But what I am going to say is Tom Brady's experience is nice in a huddle. It's nice in a 2-minute drill. Got to go march down the field. It will definitely help him. But I'm not convinced it'll help anybody else.
I'm with you there. Brady said it best. He said experience doesn't help you win. What does? Playing well. And you know why? Because when you talk about experience, and you just showed the chart showing the disparity in their experience. But the experience just gives you a sense of confidence and calm through the preparation process, all the way up until game time. And we know, as Russell Wilson loves to declare, preparation is the separation. But what about the guys who are not unnerved by the preparation process of the Super Bowl? Let's talk about the guys that John Wooden would say, too, if you want to win big games, do the little things. That's how you win a big game. So whether you have a Tom Brady in the locker room telling you, study more, maybe you're getting a little ahead of your skis, because what did you study to get to this point? It's the confidence you need to have to go through this game. Now, here's the funny thing about any moment of truth, because that's what we're really talking about, the play. The actual performance on the field. Like, you can have all the bulletin board material. You can have a roster full of veterans. You could go out there and say, hey, we're fully prepared. But that gets neutralized because the other team is fully prepared and confident as well. What happens in that moment? And I'm going to give you a moment when Brian Waters, the great Brian Waters, next to Willie Rofe and those Kansas City Chief linemen back in the days when I played, Brian Waters decides to pull on the play because that's what they said to do on the play. But he knew we had a safety in Rodney Harrison who didn't care who you were, what size you were, etc. And Brian Waters, the great Brian Waters, came around that corner, and Rodney Harrison said, welcome to the Terror Dome. Yeah, I heard a sound that I haven't heard since I crashed my Ferrari at 1:30 one time on the freeway. Yeah. I was like, it scared me out of my pads. Like, I was like, do I have to play after this? And I don't know who won the battle. I know Rodney was pumped. We were pumped. Brian Waters still felt good, but he also took notice. He ain't no punk. Guess what happens in a football game? That about 60, 70 times, like moments of truth. Are you going to answer the bell? And Tom Brady framed it perfectly. It's about how you play, how you answer that bell, how you perform in those moments of truth. Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Bucky Brooks. So, Bucky, will Tom Brady's experience be enough to beat the Chiefs?
Only if Tom Brady's going to backpedal. Because that's not the problem that the Buccaneers have. I just don't know how they're going to slow down this offense because we've seen this movie before. Number 10 and number 87, they are unstoppable. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, they have been lighting it up. And with Patrick Mahomes playing at a high level like he has, man, like all the onus is on Tom Brady to get this offense going. But I just don't know if they can beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a shootout. In the Super Bowl, it really comes down to the most talented team typically wins. And unless the Kansas City Chiefs mess this up by turning the ball over, by blowing assignments, really, this game is the Kansas City Chiefs' game to win. I just don't know how Tom Brady's experience plays a part in that. Maybe he can talk to Todd Bowles and help them come up with a scheme to slow these guys down. But his experience and the fact that this will be his 10th Super Bowl has little to do with what is going to take place next Sunday.
Bucky Brooks, I think you're exactly right. I think you got to remember the Buccaneers, their defensive backs, the people that are tasked with stopping Patrick Mahomes, all of their starting defensive backs, all 6 of them, if you include some of the primary backups in year 3 or younger. Like Tom Brady, your experience means a lot, but it only means so much. Also, you have to remember Carlton Davis, the dude that was tasked with covering Tyreek Hill the first time, if you want to call it that. Tyreek Hill was 9 for 9, 211 yards and 3 TDs. But if you took nothing else away from this whole segment, these last 9 minutes, I hope you were keeping track at home. Can I see Bucky Brooks, please?
Uh-oh.
I hope they're keeping track at home. Bucky, if I'm keeping count right, Marcellus has now mentioned 2 Bentleys, 1 Rolls Royce. I know. 1 big boat slash a yacht.
I didn't have a Bentley.
And 1 Ferrari. If you keeping track at home, that doesn't count the 3 Teslas he currently has. But I ain't keeping track. I ain't keeping track.
Hey, get out my pockets. Get out my pockets. And I ain't had no damn Bentley.
Hey, coming up.
Had a Rolls Royce.
Hall of Famer, one of the best coaches the game has ever seen. That's legendary Jimmy Johnson. He joins the show. We'll ask him if the Cowboys should consider moving on from their star quarterback, Dak Prescott. Can't wait for that one. That's next. Speak for you. Yeah, you gotta love it. Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. The Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite against the Bucs, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. Now, quarterback Patrick Mahomes already has a Super Bowl win and MVP trophy on his resume, but Tony Romo says his matchup against Tom Brady puts this game on another level. Take a listen.
This is the biggest game Patrick Mahomes will ever play in for the rest of his career. It's the only way to catch Tom Brady. He has to win this game. If he loses this game, he cannot catch Tom Brady, in my opinion.
Now, there might be a little bit of, like, fight promotion there. Because the game is on, I believe, the network that Tony Romo is in. So now that I'm actually watching it, I'm doing a little math there, Tony Romo. You ain't slick. You ain't slick trying to sell a fight. I respect it, though. Well done. But Marcellus, let's actually dissect it. Is this the biggest game Patrick Mahomes will ever play in?
Absolutely. And I'm saying it on Fox's network. And we're not covering the game, so you know I'm speaking from the heart. It really is, big dog, just because. Think about it. It's the biggest game of the year, but it's against the greatest player ever. So that takes it somewhere else. Like the Super Bowl is where everyone's goal. We're trying to go there. Ultimate team accomplishment. But at the end of the year, there's a winner, there's a loser. But then this can mean much more than just a win in one Super Bowl game for Patrick Mahomes. And that's what Tony Romo is talking about. We're talking about his legacy. We're talking about the fact that all the other games, all the other Super Bowls he potentially will play in the future will add up to his greatness. But this game will help define his greatness. There's a big difference. I'm going to tell you why. You know why Patrick Mahomes right now is not going to his 3rd Super Bowl in a row? Because that guy, the GOAT, Tom Brady, said, nah, not yet, youngster. And then, because Tom Brady switched teams, went to a different conference, oh, okay. I see you, Patrick Mahomes. You won the Super Bowl last year, and this year I'm in a different conference. Now let's see each other at the pinnacle moment. Now, if you lose to Tom Brady in this moment, when he's the greatest player defined by his Super Bowl success, and he's the same reason why you didn't have the ultimate Super Bowl success just 2 years prior, what will you say? Let's just forecast. Even if you get to 6 rings, which is improbable, if not impossible, even if you get to 6 rings, what will you say? Oh, but you would have had more if you would have beat Tom Brady. In the simplest terms, let me say this. This is Michael Jordan playing LeBron. If we ever had that matchup in the finals, no matter what you say beyond that, no matter who you beat, what other matchups you can forecast, nothing will define it more than this matchup.
My dog, you spitting, you better put on a mask, big dog. You out here spitting these facts.
Give him the gas face.
I'm going to say this. You said so many things so eloquently. I'm not here to detract nothing. I just want to add to your brilliance from that last little bit. This is a lose-lose for Patrick Mahomes in which he has to find a way to win. Because Patrick Mahomes, if you lose to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, you lost to a 43-year-old Tom Brady. He wasn't even in his prime. Patrick Mahomes, if and when you beat Tom Brady, I mean, well, he's only 43, so, like, you really shouldn't have beat him anyway. But Patrick Mahomes, you have a chance to remove all doubt where there may be doubt. We're going to have these conversations in 15, 20 years. Mahomes, you'll be 45, 40. Tom Brady will be in his 60s. And we're going to be debating, hopefully, still on this show, we're going to be debating, man, who was better, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes? But we won't have to argue because it'll be black and white. Boom. We'll have an answer. Like you and I did an hour ago, debating the roster. What do we finally agree on? They equal.
Yeah.
Like they equal.
They
Receivers, tight ends, they right neck and neck.
Yep.
So it's not as though we're going to be saying, well, Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. No. Tom Brady had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Gronkowski. Everything's so equal that we're really, really going to be able to say the better quarterback won the game. And yes, Tom Brady's older, so he's at a disadvantage. But when it comes to these nitty-gritty arguments, we're not going to be deducing that. We're simply going to say the better quarterback won the game. So for that reason, it is the biggest game of Mahomes' career, unless they play each other again. Because we always argue, at least I think about the hypotheticals. What would have happened if LeBron James was on those Bulls teams? Would he have ever retired? Yeah. Would he have won 8 in a row? Yeah. Would he have won 5 out of the 6?
Yeah.
You won. What would have happened if Jordan